So let's take that trip down memory lane.
Sure.
You
Okay.
just graduated from college, but we're going to go 4 years back.
Okay.
You're in high school. You're just
Yes.
applying. You're thinking about the college process. So first of all, what did you do in high school to kind of bolster your resume and just getting ready for your applications? What kind of student were you?
Yeah. I did a lot in high school. It's a small school, but I was involved in a lot of things. I was really involved in orchestras. Always into that since middle school.
What do you play?
I play violin in the orchestra. Did a lot of like music festivals through like the base schools, the Dodea system, also through like the international schools. So went to like the kayak things. That was a lot of fun. Met a lot of people through that. Just a lot of performing at school. I also played some tennis in high school. I'm really involved in tennis. Great thing to play in the fall. Make a lot of friends, especially as a freshman that way, and a lot of get to meet a lot of upperclassmen who really help you out later when you are applying to college. When you have questions about anything, that was awesome. And I spent a lot of time doing student council in high school for 3 years. Like class president, got to help out with pep rallies, homecoming, prom right before our school shut down. That was very, very special. We had our prom at the 63 building, a very iconic
fancy.
building. And so, but we were not on a high floor. We were on the 4th floor. But it was memorable. So I did a lot of that in high school, and, nothing super out of the ordinary, just a lot of what they offered at our school, try to get involved, and
You're kind of underplaying yourself, I think. You say I didn't do anything special. You gave a pretty
That's a lot of
stacked list
things
of
to
extracurriculars.
do.
nothing, I guess, just like kind of typical things that people do, like music
Right.
or art,
Like
something
stuff
artsy
in school, I guess.
in school,
Yeah.
not too much out of school. Just try to like spend a lot of time with people at school. I think that's what I.
You're also downplaying the fact that you were class president for 3 years.
We're a tiny school.
President of a small country is still the president of a small country.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, that I did spend a lot of time in class council doing, especially my junior year, planning the prom. That was a lot of fun, and opportunities to speak in front of the class. Kind of working through being a leader and like realizing will always be a complainer, and just kind of accepting that fact, and I'm gonna do the work that I'm going to do with the help of my team and my friends, and we're gonna make it work, and we give it our all, and that's the best that we can do. No looking back. I think that was a big lesson learned through doing like student council in high school, and I really wanted to do it in college, but it's completely different in college, and it's okay that I did.
You also talked about how you weren't a great swimmer, but you were a great tennis player. You were very successful.
Well,
You won a lot of games.
how'd you find that?
You were in women's doubles, right? Very successful.
I played singles mostly in high school, but I
Okay.
did play some doubles when we went to Far East, which is like a regional competition with the other Dodea schools, Japan and Korea, sometimes Guam. And we had a lot of fun, won some matches there. But whenever we went against international schools, we did not do so hot. But fun time. It's good to play against people who you don't see often, and good experience playing with the same people over and over again. You get to figure out like their tactics and what they're good at, and you play that. And so it's fun to play with new people.
And being a student athlete is tough. It's a tough thing intrinsically, right?
Right.
Yes, yeah. It is. It does take up a lot of time, especially during the season. 2 hours every single day. That time isn't very productive. In high school sports, after school, everyone's kind of playing around. But matches take up a lot of time. Traveling, that takes up so much time. But, I think that's a big part of my high school life, and you make so many friends that way, a lot of special memories, a lot of drama, but you look back and those were the good times. I remember like doing pep rallies, the tennis team gets to go out and like do a little tap their rackets together, and you go in front of the whole school, and you're a tennis player and everybody knows. You get to wear a uniform to school. That's like the core like American high school culture, and that's really special that I got to experience that here in the middle of Seoul. That was really special and fun,
It sounds like most of the activities you took part in kind of revolve around a sense of community, of being part of a community and helping other people build a sense of community. Do you think that was a factor that you either wrote about in your essays or discussed in any other way, like through your applications, or how you kind of presented yourself as a candidate for universities? Because it looks like there's a common theme between all the things you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. I think I struggle. I think a lot of people struggle with feeling like their story is not special enough when they're writing college apps. My struggle was not big enough. My accomplishment is not grand enough, and I think I spent a lot of time mulling over that when writing my college apps. But then, I think I'm a simple gal. I think I like simple things, and I spend a lot of time just trying to be with people, laugh, and make good memories, and, be kind and be helpful to people when they need help. And so I think I kind of shifted gears at one point because I tried to like be artsy with my essays, be quirky, be funny, but my writing skills are limited. I don't know that many like cool vocab words, and I just said let's just kind of be genuine. And so I remember some of my college app essays for like after 2 years after I started college, I would like help out some underclassmen who are applying to colleges. I remember reading over them, but I remember like writing about simple things. One of my favorite essays I wrote about was one of the MIT essays was, what do you do for fun? And like, what do you like to do? I think the prompt was, if you had an extra hour in the day, what would you do? If I recall correctly. And I wrote about writing letters and sending letters in the mail, because I don't know who still does that, but I really enjoyed doing that. Buying stamps, asking my dad, please go get me the forever stamps, and I want to send a card to my friend who moved away. And writing handwritten letters, I wrote about sealing it, putting the stamp on it, and sending it down the mailbox, and how that's like a special way for me to unwind, relieve stress, test out new fonts when I'm trying to change my handwriting, to put some stickers that I did not need from Daiso. That's a good use of my stickers and not a waste of money. And so I wrote about that kind of stuff. And like my junior year, I did morning announcements at school when the school was really, really small. And one of my essays was about like, that's when SAAS, Seoul American High School, merged with the middle school the year before they closed. And I remember enlisting like a 7th grader who was my friend's sister. Why don't you join me for the announcements today? And how, it seemed like a little thing for me to kind of invite her. When I do the morning announcements was kind of a chore by the end of the year. I had to get to school early. I got to find the weather. We used to do the AQI, see how bad the air quality was. We did a vocab word of the day, all the sports announcements, important updates, SAT dates, sign up for this and that. And I invited my friend's sister. And why don't you do the pledge, or why don't you give these announcements with me? And I remember writing about how it was like a confidence booster. People could hear her voice because at the end of the announcements, we all sign off with their name. And I'm Hannah. And I remember she got to say her name. And, as a 7th grader in a school, you're also in school with your 7th grade. So in middle school, you're kind of an upperclassman, but when you're with the high schooler, you're like a baby. And so kind of having it be a confidence booster for her, I wrote about that and how that was a humbling experience for me. That was fun to see her have so much fun. Kind of something seemingly unimportant to me, but how I don't know how much it helped her, but it was in that moment, I think, brought her joy and confidence. So, yeah.
Going back to high school now
Yeah.
academically, I think when people hear that you are applying to MIT EA or just applying to MIT period, you have to have been a pretty good student baseline to think about that as an option. So if you don't mind sharing some of your hard stats, maybe what kind of percentile of student you were in your grade and also maybe your standardized test scores.
Yes. I took the ACT twice. Did not do so hot the first time, but I did get a 34 the second time. I was happy with my score. I was done. MIT at that time required 2 subject tests, math 2, and a STEM. So I think there was only bio, chem, physics. So I took bio. There are 2.
You took SAT to bio and 2C math.
Yes, and then I took the ACT, and then in terms of schoolwork, GPA, I took, I think, almost 10 APs, maybe 9 or 10. I was not valedictorian or salutatorian, but when I moved to Humphreys, I think I was 3rd in the class. I don't think I found out officially, but I think I was 3rd.
That's very high.
You did very well for yourself.
Yeah, 3rd
Yes.
in a class is very high. Lots of APs. 10 APs is a lot of APs. And you said no history, but I'm guessing you did non-STEM APs as well, a little bit.
I did 3 non-STEM APs. I did AP Lang, AP Lit, and AP Government, U.S. Government and Politics. I did not do hot on my AP exams at all. I only got 1 5, and that was on government. I did not get any 5s on calc, bio, chem, all of that fun stuff. But with those 3 non-STEM ones, I took calc, AB, BC, stats, and then I took AP bio, chem, physics, and APES.
Okay.
So that is
a lot.
10. That is a lot of classes, a lot of APs. Yeah, that was a lot.
So we're looking at a quite high GPA, pretty high ACT score, 34 out of 36, very high. Lots of APs, even though you maybe you're wary about the scores, but that's a lot of courses. Over STEM and non-STEM. So that's what the kind of hard stats of your application looks like.